Good job. Good job. You found it. You find it. Good job. Good job. All right. Now she was just sniffing them all, just in general, but there was a clear. Like the first few times we passed, kind of checked each one. That didn't really count. And I sat down there, and then there was a clear scent grab on that one, and I just used that millisecond of time to say that's enough of what I needed. Hit the click, remove the ball, and then positively reinforce. Hey, you did it. Great job. So now we'll move the dog, and we'll move the food, and we'll do it again. And another good tip, another good couple tips for you, ways to make it more difficult. One, like I said, waiting for a greater degree of indication, but also you can use smaller and smaller amounts of kibble, right? That'll make it a little bit harder to detect which one has the actual kibble in it. Plus, all these have like residual kibble scents on them, so that makes it challenging because they all kind of smell similar. But I want her to find the most potent one. And if you use smaller and smaller, not smaller, I would say varying amounts of kibble, that could kind of just, in the beginning, use a big handful, it'll be easier. Maybe use a pinch next time. You kind of mix it up. But those varying levels can just make it a little bit more of a challenge. You don't want to do all the way down to one piece of kibble because that is going to upset the balance of the scale of reward. But you know what I mean. Just at different amounts, smaller amounts can be a little harder to detect. Is all I mean basically. And then my second tip is you want to start coming up with some target words. So in the beginning, coming up with a word that means like search for it, and then when she finds it and we click, coming up with a word after that that is associated with the act of receiving the reward. So we'll run it one more time with those things in mind. Those three main things basically. So we're going to use target word for beginning the exercise. Look for a stronger indication this time than last. When she does indicate which bowl she thinks the kibble is in. And third, a word for after we click and she's actually found it. We're going to use search. And then this time I'm going to look for a little bit of nudging of the bowl. And then when she gets it, I'm going to say find. Good find. Search. I know I want to pet her and play with her here, but you got to kind of be a little bit disinterested in her to a degree so that she can actually work. Otherwise, she's just going to think it's a play session. Going back to the same one is common. She's already got one pattern of it working, but it isn't there, so obviously we're not marking. Good find. Good find. Yeah. And another good way to make sure that she knows she's searching for the right one and they don't just all produce food randomly is when she has it and it's empty, show the other ones. Alright? Because they all kind of smelled like it, but they weren't in there. And if we leave them down, you know, as she gets better and better at the exercise, we also got to increase our sharpness and stuff. But if we leave them all face down, she might just think, well, we were just randomly clicked when she got to one of them, and that paid. Maybe we'll randomly click when she goes to another one. We want to show her that there were two ones that did not produce, and there was only one that did produce, and, you know, good job, good find, you figured it out. It's real simple intro to nose work, nothing crazy, but, you know, this only works with dogs that are a little bit sharper. Well, I should say it only works well with dogs that are a little bit sharper. Good job. With her, it should be no problem. You can change up, you can have more bowls, you can have different things to cover them up. But, you know, that's as she gets better and better, right? We just got to come up with ways to keep it creative and keep it interesting. Right now, very first time doing it, so all the bowls smell the same. They're all the same size. They're all made out of the same material. So I want her to be clear that it's the scent that's differentiating it and not the shape, you know, the size, the material. I want her to know that I'm just asking you to search for this one thing. And people, usually when they do nose work, they're using things that aren't even food. You know, eventually people use things that are just scents, like different spices and things like that. But what's great about it now is she's driven enough with just her kibble being the reward to still play the exercise, get some mental stimulation, and you know, a little exhaust her mind a little bit to a degree, at least exercise it, and you know, get a reward that before wasn't that rewarding. It was just boring dry kibble. But now, you know, we increase the food drive and we come up with fun ways for them to forage to feed, and all of a sudden their food has a, you know, it's gained new meaning, a new value. Good job. Let me know if you got any questions, guys.